Hey, everybody, I'm Bethany, and I'm a casting producer for Unscripted TV.
Hey, I'm Danny, and I'm also a casting producer for Unscripted TV.
And we are excited to bring you our new podcast, Casting Stories Untold.
Woo woo!
Woo woo!
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you? I want to point out that my microphone matches my shirt.
I do like
Isn't
that.
that cute?
Mine
I
does
love
not.
this.
Actually, mine is
Monochromatic.
gray. And do you know that this is embarrassing, only recently found out about millennial gray?
I think I'm finding about it right now.
Oh my God. It's basically like all millennials like have painted their floors gray. Gray, like the
Oh,
furniture is gray. It's just like
copy
became a
that.
whole thing, but it's something that only really kind of like millennials did. And let me tell you, I have a gray carpet, I have gray towels, I kind of have
That's
gray curtains. I'm like,
so
I
funny.
a
Yeah,
gray car, a gray microphone. I'm like, and someone was like, "Oh my God, you're so millennial gray." And I was like, "Oh,
I am.
I am." And I didn't know that was a thing. How embarrassing.
Well,
What? I guess I'm millennial. What are you?
I guess what is now? Gen Z? So I'm Gen X,
Uh,
right? Jade's Gen Z, my daughter.
Gen Z.
She's Gen Z. So yeah, I don't know what color we have.
I feel like it might be beige. No, or but that's kind of Kim
That
K.
feels about right.
Yeah. Um, all right, well,
So should we introduce, I never know, should we introduce our next guest? Today we have, yeah, so today I'm super excited about our guest today because, well, it's Rachel Riley. And I feel like I've known her for a really long time, not necessarily just from her work on like all the shows that she's done, but like from the casting work that she's done because we've worked together on a few projects. Yeah.
yeah, oh my gosh, I love that she was in casting. She was in our office. Well,
She
one.
was in our office for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah.
All right, here she
Okay.
is.
Hi,
Sorry.
sorry. No, I that's my fault too, because I was like, well, I have a minute. I'll go make tea. I need a little volume in my hair today. It's
I
like
mean, girl, you are preaching to the volume choir. I need to get something
Volume
going.
choir.
it
Say
went
it.
no, at like 5 hours ago, my hair was like boop. But now, as time goes on throughout the finals days, it's
Oh
like
my gosh, you're busy, busy.
exhausting. I know, back to back.
Are you
Yeah,
working right now or are you in finals for a show?
we're working. I
Okay.
wish I was in finals for sure. You guys got a show for me?
Girl,
Put me on
maybe. I
TV,
mean,
please.
we maybe. Okay, we're so excited to have you on our podcast. So thanks for coming on. Yay.
So excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. This is so epic. I'm actually going to put my headphones in to see if the sound is. Okay, y'all, I feel like this is a homecoming just talking to you
I
Wow.
because, well, Bethany, we chatted, I think before I was even ever on Big Brother, right?
yeah,
Isn't
exactly.
that
Forever
insane?
ago.
Wait,
Forever ago. Yeah.
Literally.
really?
Yes,
How?
2010. Throughout the whole casting process, I remember just talking to everyone, like meeting the whole team,
Yeah.
and like I think I had the longest back then. Big Brother felt like the longest casting process.
It probably was longer than it is now, right? It probably was because it
I
was like
think
all in
so.
person and coming
Yes.
back and yeah.
Yep. I had like two in-person calls before I even did like finals or semifinals or anything.
Yeah.
Because I remember like I think Shannon, right? Is that her name,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
blonde?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
Shannon.
Shannon. And she interviewed, so I met her and Robin at finals at Hard Rock in Las Vegas. And then I
Love
know,
it.
crazy, right? And then after that, we had to go to oh my God, it was Trump Tower. We were filmed at Trump Towers. I know,
Can you
crazy.
imagine? That's
No, I
crazy.
literally cannot. And then we sat down in the waiting room, and I swear I was like, everything, because you just think in your head 20 million things when you're going through the casting process. You're like, they're filming this, and these people are plants, and this is just a setup. And I was thinking,
Well, and back then we used to, I mean, it's still a little bit like that, but like we used
yeah,
to like strike the fear of God in everyone because it was like you
oh my
can't
God,
talk, you can't look at anyone, you
right.
can't like it was a little nutty, but
It was nice. Like literally, I remember walking through the door, and they're like, And we had a babysitter, and she was like, don't talk to anyone. Like, it was like literally, they didn't want us to know anything about who was
Yeah.
going through the process. You could never talk about anything. It was so hush hush.
I remember this one time, I forget what show it was, and I probably wouldn't say even if I knew, but it was someone who was like in finals, like in sequester in finals, and no one's supposed to know that you're there or that or
Oh,
what you're
yeah.
like, where you are. You just say like, oh, I'm on a work trip or whatever. And this person, I think it was maybe their anniversary or her birthday or something, and her boyfriend had sent flowers to the hotel to be like, happy birthday, and they let her go, and we're like, nope. You broke
Oh my
confidentiality, you
gosh.
broke the
Yep.
NDA because nobody's supposed to know where you are.
But there's like a bunch of people allegedly there. And so they would take us down. We got like 1 hour of like gym time and
Right.
1 hour of pool time. And I think, Bethany, did you used to run those too?
That's probably it. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Yep. And then the finals, you just go to meetings and then they have like different floors. They're like, today you're on the ninth floor. Tomorrow you're on the sixth floor. Like, and I knew, like, nobody told me this, but I knew in my head, and I'd never gone through any process like this. It just felt like the longer you're there and the more stuff that you go through, like the further along in the process you are. And
Yes.
nobody ever said that to me. And I'd never done anything like that before, but I just like, had this feeling in my head like, okay, so they're keeping me for another day. So this is good. So, like, I was so hyper aware of everything I was doing and saying. And, like, I remember going to the pool. This is so silly. like, they let me have one bottle of wine. I remember going to the pool and, like, drinking my bottle of wine. And I would, like, we don't have music or anything
Yeah.
books, but I was trying so hard to like do like a little sexy pose and look so hot at the pool and like
In case you were on camera,
in
like they were
case I was
watching
like,
you, like,
yeah, literally, in case I was being filmed, or in case like people were oh, well, that Rachel, she's boring. She's just,
right, right. Give him a
I was like,
show,
I'm gonna
girl.
give him a show every second.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
mean, it's
remember what you talked about in any of those
Oh
interviews
my
when you
God.
were with the executives?
It was Robin and someone else came into the room and they were like, you can't wear that. And it was like my outfit was like very Vegas, like
that's
it
so
was. I
funny.
think it was like a bikini top basically with like a cute midriff skirt.
Yeah.
But like we're in our 20s. I was the cocktail waitress girl. Like
Well, I
I
was gonna,
thought,
yeah, that's who you
yeah,
are, right? It's like
that's
part of
who I
your
was.
story, but
Yes,
yeah.
it looked amazing. I thought, and then they were like, do you have anything more modest? I do remember that. Um, I remember going in and talking to Rich and Allison. I don't remember who the other executives were. There was a blonde lady in the room, but I remember Rich staring at me and like asking me because I was telling them I was bragging about how much money I made in Vegas and how I'm like so smart. I'm going to school and I'm this, as we do in these interviews. And he's like, so then why do you want to give all that up for the summer when you're going to lose out on much money? And I was like, are you kidding? I'm going to make $500,000.
Yes. And you did.
And then, yeah,
And
maybe not that first
not
season,
that
but
season, sure,
eventually.
but
Yeah.
you did eventually. So let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about like other because you have like you're like one of the most prolific, I would say, reality
Oh,
personalities out there,
thank
right? Wouldn't
you.
you say?
Wow,
So
I mean, I think
prolific.
so
isn't
at
that
this
a good
point,
word?
especially. I have been on a season, a show every year for 15 years. Isn't that
What?
crazy?
Rachel,
Yes.
that's amazing. I did not realize
Thank
that at all.
you.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
I
I
know.
didn't
It's
realize that
crazy.
Girl,
at
you're
all.
Yeah.
busy.
Right? Well, I mean, I want to be busier. But yeah, like I have filmed and been on a show like I think almost every year. Like I don't remember if 20 well, technically yes, because in 2020 we filmed our own show and it was on it was for Bespoke and we that was aired like on cable and stuff. So I mean technically I think then it's been every single year because this year I did my Worst Cooks of America.
Which was so good. I watched
It was
so
so
good.
funny.
So fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
What like
But
okay, so what do
yeah.
you think like what are some I mean, I know they're all like favorites in their own way and obviously Big Brother I'm sure has a special place in your heart with what how it changed your life completely. So
Yes.
let's talk about that also, but like what would you say are one of like some of your favorite like shows or experiences or I don't know.
I think so. I think my favorite show that I've done Well, it's hard to say because each one's been so different,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
I really loved like Worst Cooks of America was so fun because there was no pressure to like compete where it was like not nasty competition. It
Right.
was just like have fun, be wild, do your thing. Like cook a crazy like I made chocolate turkey lasagna. Okay. Like
Wow.
it was like just go out for it, right?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I loved filming The Traders. The network was so nice to us, and the like production team was amazing, and everyone in Scotland was amazing. Alan is crazy, like he's so fun. He made that experience like just such a
Yeah.
fun, campy experience. So and everyone that comes off the show says how much it was one of their favorite shows they've ever worked on.
Yeah. Did you
And then, I
want to
mean,
be, did you, not to interrupt, but did you
yeah,
want to be a traitor or were you like,
I
thank God?
did. No, you know what? I wanted so bad to be a traitor, and I don't think I sold myself correctly because I don't think I knew what to say. So I'm known as a villain. Like it's weird. I don't think I'm a villain in my head. I don't know. I mean, I know I got this like villain persona from Big Brother, but like I don't think I'm actually a villain. And I think in my head, like I'm very competitive. I'm very like I'm very like outspoken and I'll tell you what I think. And I'm a shit starter. Like I'm a fire starter, right?
Okay.
Like I am a spark. Like people are going to feel one or way about me or another.
Yeah.
And if you like me, then we're best friends. We're ride or dies till the end. If you don't like me, then you're gonna like we're gonna bump heads, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote you out, and I'm telling you to your face, which I think probably also is why I'm a villain. But like for traders, I sold myself by saying I'm going to gaslight them. And I swear to God, I probably said gaslight 20 times.
That
We
was the
do it,
buzzword, I feel like, a year or two ago. I
right?
felt like
It
everyone
was
was saying that word every 2 seconds.
saying it.
Yeah.
And so I went into the room with all like everyone. We do an interview about why you want to be a traitor or a faithful. And I'm like, I'm gonna be so good at gaslighting people. I'm just gonna gaslight them. They're not gonna know it's coming, and I'm gonna gaslight them.
They were like,
They're like,
okay.
okay, like that's your strategy. And I wish I would have sold myself better because I've never betrayed anyone on any reality show I've been on. So I think Traders would have been my chance to actually like tell people I've never betrayed anyone and then actually go ahead and betray them.
Yeah.
I still want to do that. That is like on my reality TV checkbox of like lying to someone's face. But I don't know if I'll be good at it. I'm really not that good at like lying to people.
You
Well, that's
never did
why,
that? You didn't do that on
Never.
Big Brother?
Never. I've never done it on Big Brother, never did it. I would always tell people to their face, I'm going to vote you out. I would tell people like what's going on because I'm very direct and I have the competition wins to back myself up.
yeah.
So I never have to be the person that's like lying to their face to like get the manipulate them or whatever. So I've never had to really do that. So I'm like, it's my chance. I want to do it. I want to take my turn. Maybe I'm waiting for an all-star season. I don't know. We'll see.
An All-Stars of Traders?
Yeah, I love that
Traders
idea.
all-stars would be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be.
Love it.
What,
Love it.
why, how were you so good at competitions? Were you like super athletic growing up? What was that?
I'll be honest, I think it's a mental thing because we've seen a ton of people that are like really athletic on all these shows and they're not good at competitions. They're kind of a flop. And you're like, what is wrong? Like, and they'll talk in their interviews because, now I work in casting too. So they'll talk in their interviews like a big game. I'm this, I'm a that, I'm an Olympic athlete, basically, right? And then you put them on the show and they're just like a dud sitting in the corner and you're like, what is going
What
on?
happened?
So I think it is a mental thing. I think you have to want it and you have to want that win, or you're not going to be able to like pull it out.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of that would was why am so good. Because I'll get down, I'll cry, I'll have a good cry, and then I'm right back to it where I'm like winning a competition, you know?
Is that just like a life thing? Like, have you always been like that? Is that something you sort of had to learn,
I
before?
don't know. I feel like maybe I've always been like that because I've always, I moved across the country when I was like 20 years old, right when I graduated college. I moved to Las Vegas by myself. So maybe I've always been like that. Maybe I've not been pretty fearless my whole life, but like when you're young, you don't own it as much. And now that I'm older and I'm wiser, Like I own it now. I understand that that is part of my personality and that I have like been able to develop that part of my personality. Whereas when I was younger, I don't think I was as confident in that like fearless part of my personality. Even though I had it, I think I just didn't realize, you know?
Yeah.
Did you have like were your parents kind of like you can do anything like were like very like
No.
motivational like that? No. Really?
Don't tell my parents I said that. No. I mean, my parents were very supportive, obviously, but like, especially with moving across the country, no, they were like, do not do, you're not doing it. And I'm like, I am a grown woman. I'm going to do what I want. I think my parents told me when I was like little, I used to say, do it self. Like that was my favorite term. So I always would be that one that wanted to like do it on their own. And I didn't want the help from my parents and I didn't want the help from my teachers or the peers. Like I wanted to like make my own mistakes and then I wanted to like learn and just keep going. And they were supportive as like far as, you know, as parents are, we all support our kids, right?
Right.
But when it comes to like being supportive of like, you can do anything and you can like move across the country on your own and win 12,000 competitions, I don't know that they would have believed in me that I could do that. Like you want to think that they would because they're my parents, but I really
Sure.
don't know that they did believe in that.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and
interesting.
it's
Oh, sorry.
no, sorry, Dan. I was going to say it's interesting also because well, and this is a whole side note, but remember, I actually
Yeah.
cast Alyssa. I don't know if you remember that part
Yes.
too, but yeah.
Yeah.
So you both are obviously women who like go after what you want, and you're very competitive, and you
Yes.
put yourself out there. So it is interesting that like you said, those are your parents, and but you both turned out sort of that way.
Right. Maybe that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe
I
because
think
they
that
weren't like saying that.
I think you can get there with encouragement sometimes, right? How some people
Yes.
get there through there, and sometimes you can get there because you've kind of had to fight and prove yourself a lot of times.
Right.
And it sounds
Yeah.
like that may have been you.
I feel like that, yeah, I think that was me. And you're right with Alyssa too. She is very competitive and she does like she's getting her nurse practitioner degree right now. Like she's literally doing all the things. She was like one day she was like, I want to do Botox. And she's like, how do I do it? And she's like, I have to get a nursing degree. I have to get a, NP in dermatology so I can do it. And like within the past 3 years, she's like almost finished. So I know, literally started like about 3 years ago. She just was like, one day, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, okay, you could do it. Like, and so we do both do that. And I wonder if it is because like our parents weren't too much of the, you know, like you could do whatever you want, like kind of thing. And they let us make those mistakes, maybe. Maybe
Right.
that like was helpful.
Yeah.
So it's a good note for me to remember being a parent.
Yeah, right. Well, they must be
Yeah.
so proud now. And of course, like to see
Yes.
you,
Oh, a
your
hundred
whole life
percent.
change because of the shows that you've been on. So let's talk a little bit about that.
I was on Big Brother. I won Big Brother in 2011 on season 13. I've done 3 seasons of The Amazing Race. My husband and I met on Big Brother 10. Sorry, Big Brother 12 in 2010. We did 2 seasons of Amazing Race together, Celebrity Fear Factor. I did like Snake in the Grass and I did Traders. We got married. My husband and I got married on TV, which was kind of crazy. We have just done so many fun and amazing things. I just did Worst Cooks of America. I've had such a crazy, fun reality TV experience. And in between, I get to do like casting fun shows like The Golden Bachelor and like game shows. So a lot of fun things that I've gotten the opportunity to do from being on reality TV.
Yeah. And what do your kids think about you? Like that must be so special for them to see, I mean, your relationship like develop and like all your wet. I mean, they can see it all. It's so cool that your kids get to see that.
Well, have they?
Yes.
Have they watched?
They have, yeah.
Okay.
My 4 year, I have an 8 year old and a 4 year old. So my 8 year old, she gets it now. And people stop us a lot, especially living in Alabama. And they're like, oh my God, you're Rachel and Brendan. We love you on the show. And so my daughter gets it now. And like sometimes even Adora's like, yeah, this is my mom, Rachel. She was on Big Brother. And like she acts like it's so annoying. Like,
Right.
but I think that they like to watch it and she's really loves to see our story on Big Brother. We've
Yeah.
showed her like the hammock scene and we've showed her Like the scene where Brendan was like, "I'm gonna save you, Rachel." So she's seen a lot of that stuff, and then she's watched all the Amazing Races, but we haven't shown her all the like other crazy scenes yet. I mean, I'm sure she'll see them like
Sure.
eventually, but we haven't seen. She hasn't seen everything yet.
Yeah, age
Yeah,
appropriate.
exactly,
Smart.
exactly.
Smart.
That's amazing. And okay, so you talked a little bit about casting. So which I that's again how we know you even better is because of like the
Yeah.
casting and the shows we've done. So what was that like that transition? Did you always know like that like when you were in the audition process, were you like this is what I want to do? Tell us a little bit about how you transitioned and why into casting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't even really think that it was a job or, growing up in North Carolina in small town like Concord, North Carolina, I went to a pretty small university. Western Carolina is not like a huge school. So I didn't really know that it was an opportunity. I didn't grow up thinking reality TV is a career. But by the way, I went to school when it was just like Survivor was like one of the only shows in real world, right? Like we didn't grow up like millennials, it didn't grow up with reality TV being a career, right? It wasn't like who knew. Now it's like a career that you can have for your whole life.
Completely. Like
Um,
not just cat
yeah,
like in the workforce, like
yes,
staff, but as a celebrity, as a reality TV.
yes,
So
a
But
both
that
hundred
both
is
ways you
percent.
can
very rare.
yeah.
You are
Yeah,
in
that's true.
rare
That's true. You're a
air. Is that
Oh,
unicorn.
the,
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. Well, I guess maybe, I don't know, because now it is becoming more I think it's becoming more of a thing. Like a lot more shows are doing a lot crossover stuff. I remember in like 2012 or 13 or something, it was like you'll never be on another network. Like you are CBS owned and that's it. And it was like no, but now it's like, oh, you can go to CBS, you could go to E, you could go to, NBC, you could be on ABC, like literally just hop around, like wherever you want to go. And I think that they're realizing that people watch us on the shows and they enjoy watching us. And then they see us like they know what we're going to do. It's not like you don't have to think like, oh, is Rachel going to show up and compete? Like, I'm going to show up and compete. And that's another thing. Like, you could be on the challenge and do 1,000 seasons of the challenge. And growing up in, the 2000s, we didn't know that the challenge would be on for 1,000 seasons. And like, there would be the Mark Longs coming out who are still on TV. And like, that was just wasn't a thing. So I think I didn't get into casting. Well, I didn't get into casting until 2016, but then I didn't even know it was a job until one of my girlfriends, who's a costumer, was like, "You would be so good in casting." And I was like, "Oh, like how I got on the TV?" And she was like, "Yes."
You're
And I
like, those
didn't
people
really,
have jobs.
Yeah,
yeah,
but what
those
did you
people have
think those
jobs.
people were like? What did you
I
think
don't
their job was?
I mean, going through the process, you don't think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's not something you like learn in school. It's not something that's like there nobody has a course for getting a degree in unscripted television. Like you can go to school and get a degree in scripted. You could be like you could work in as a producer or go to film school, but you don't go to like unscripted school. Maybe
Right.
that's what we need to do, Bethany.
Yeah,
Like
it's
let's start
girl,
a
I already it's already in my head. I already have
I
a
bet
right?
whole
there is
curriculum.
classes though. There has to be class. Like there's
I
classes on
don't think
Beyonce. There
there is.
has to be classes
There
on.
are. I actually talked to Jade, she's at USC about it,
Yeah.
and I have a whole like lecture curriculum that I'm like trying to get there, but that's a whole other podcast. But
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay. Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, maybe USC or something, but like, it's not at a major university, right? Like a lot of universities.
Right.
It's not in. Where are you, Alabama?
It's not in Alabama,
I
no.
would be shocked
Or
if it's
trust
in
me, I'd be
Alabama.
teaching it.
Yeah.
I said the other day I was doing this casting video. I'm like, no, I have a PhD in reality TV. Like, you don't understand.
You do. You have a master.
You
Yeah, seriously, a
do.
PhD. You do.
Like
You
I
do. So
do
what
have
is
a PhD. I have done every single genre of unscripted on camera and off camera. So if it is like unscripted television, I have literally filmed every single genre, including a docufollow. I have been working behind the scenes in almost every single genre. So I feel like I probably do have, and it's been 15 years. Isn't that what it counts as a PhD?
I You saying it like that is kind of blowing my mind. I'm like, wow, that's
Right?
Yeah,
really
you do. You
wow.
do. I mean, not a PhD, but another friend and I were talking about how many hours she's a producer, but have we have
Yeah.
combined like interviewing and casting and all. If you have like,
Yes.
because what is it to be a master? You need like, I think it's like 50,000 hours or
Yes.
50,000 hours, and we have that 100% over the past, 15 for
Oh,
you,
yeah.
20 for me years. So yeah, girl, you go get your doctorate in reality
Right?
for sure.
Literally. And
Oh,
plus, like, all of our courses are self-taught.
Do people ever like freak out when you are their casting person?
Oh, all the time. Oh, like it's really funny. Well, it's really funny. I'm used to it for like, the young kid shows that we do, like Bachelorette or whatever. But when it's the Golden Bachelor, I died. This older man, the sweetest old man ever, he said, I saw your email and I just didn't believe it. I said, there's probably someone else with the same name. And then I pop up on screen and he's like, my kids are we have to take a picture. So we took a picture. He sent it to his kids, the sweetest man ever. But yeah, he did freak out. He was like, oh my God. He didn't believe that I was actually going to be doing like the interview for him.
that is
That's
so
so cute. I
cute.
did not know that your
It was really
fandom
cute.
was also in older
I
men.
know, right? Me either. Who knew? I mean, I guess everyone watches Big Brother. It's such a popular show.
Well, like you said, you've crossed all the genres and
Yes,
you've done it there. So
exactly.
it's like if they're not, if they don't know Big Brother, then they know Traders. Then it's like,
Yes,
of course, that's so
right.
funny.
And I
Yeah,
do get recognized so much for Amazing Race because I did 3 seasons of Amazing Race. And so I think even though Big Brother's on 3 times a week, I think I still have been on more Amazing Race. I don't know if maybe more hours because I only did 3 seasons, but maybe equal because I was on the whole time on each 3 seasons.
yeah.
When you were interviewed, do you remember like telling a story that you're like, I think that's kind of what got me on. Like I
Yes, I know 100%. So first of all, I brought this horrendous headshot. So Robin always reminds me of that. Like I did not know it was a bad headshot. I thought it was like what you would bring to an open call. And it was like printed out from Walgreens, okay? Like I'm talking, I went to Walgreens, printed out 8 by 10. Like it was a headshot, like a picture of my head. And she always says to me, she's like, you would have not got cast if I was not seeing this because she's like, this is the worst headshot you could have ever sent me. This picture is horrible. And like, just bringing it to an open call, I guess, is like so silly. But like, it's a
Right.
reality show. Who knows? Who knew?
Exactly.
Right. But then I guess my story that really stood out, I think, was probably because I said I'm a chemist, but I'm also a cocktail waitress in Vegas. And I think that that was what was really the thing that did it for my story. And I always tell people that too. I'm like, they really like that, like, um, is it duplicity? Is that what they call it, right? On reality shows where you have like something unexpected and that you're like this, but you're also this. So I think that that's something that made me stand out. And I think it's still true for the show. And the castings changed so much over the years, but
Yeah.
I think it's still true.
It is true. Like just a very specific, like that they can see who you are right away, right?
Yes.
That's the
Yeah,
thing that
well, what do you think
exactly.
about you has kept you on a show every single year of your life? Because it's not chemist and
No, it's not.
yeah.
cocktail
Well,
waitress
I
anymore.
think a lot of it has to do with being lucky, right? Like a lot of it is just like luck. I also think like just being like kind to production also goes a long way. Like not being an asshole on camera, like to the people working on the show. Like I think that does go a long way because I notice like some people they'll get on the show and they'll act like they're too good to talk to like a PA or they'll be like, whatever they're demanding stuff. And I think that that goes a long way because I'm always like I go out of my way to try to be nice to the people working on the show also. So I don't know if that's just me or whatever, but
That makes so
um
much sense because I think that's
yeah.
true in everything. That's partly probably why you're good in casting also because people, I
Yeah,
mean, that's who we work with, right? In casting, it's like a
right.
lot of it is like people people you like, people you worked with before, but that make your life easier when you're
Yes.
or when you're doing a hard job, which I'm just like being on set, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think just even saying thank you, that's something I always remember. I would always just like send thank yous to people like, thank you so much for having me on the show, or thank you for your interview, thank you for your time, things like that. I think people just like do appreciate it. And it seems like little gestures, but it's a business, right? Like it's people. And so I think that might have
Relationships, yeah.
helped
Wait, would
relationships.
you
Yeah.
you would send thank you cards or like a text?
No, just like a thank you email.
That's
Yeah.
still really nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
scarred. My mom made me like send thank you cards, and if she didn't like my handwriting would rip it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
So I have like a very much a mental block about thank you cards.
But you still, does it make you do them? Because I'm the same way, but that makes me do them. Does it
That
make you
makes me
not do
not
them?
do them. I will text you, I will
Oh.
call you, I will say thank you many times, but I will never take pen to paper.
Scarred.
I
See,
can't even write anymore, to be
I
honest.
would send you notes, but then I don't know where would you send them? You know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
Like
know.
if
that's
you meet
true.
someone on a Zoom call or something, you're not like sending out a thank you note. So I think
Yeah.
it's like easier just to send a thank you email. But
That
I
is.
know a lot of people that don't though. Like that's kind of what blows my mind is
Yeah.
the people that like don't send the thank you emails. I'm like,
Right.
you didn't send them an email like to say thank you. You met the head of like the network, you have their email and you didn't send them a thank you note. Like what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, but
I
that
mean, I
happens
think
a
that's another
lot.
that you just brought up another really good point is that people don't like part of like success is like showing up, right? And like putting
Yes.
yourself out there, like you said, but also like doing those small things that like, just taking that extra step that people don't think about. So I think it's important.
100%. Yeah.
Like literally, I'm kind of thinking, I don't think about that. I'm like, and should I be doing that?
That's what's wrong with us.
I know, right? Danny,
Uh,
get on it.
Yeah,
Well,
and not
even with like
necessarily.
social media now, it's like you have to put like I was saying earlier, like you feel like you have to put your life out there all the time, even when you don't want to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to think of things that
How
people don't know.
How is that for you, Rachel? Like, is that something that and I know you love, you're very like, I think
Yes.
people give you energy, right? You're that person.
hmm
Is it challenging for you to like maintain your sort of social media presence, or are you like, no, that gives me like fuel?
Well, like I do love social media, but I
Yeah.
hate the pressure that we put on ourselves because of social media. I
Yeah.
hate like I feel like, and this is probably just, I don't have to, but I feel in my head that I have to show up and look perfect. I feel like what I say has to be perfect. I feel like if I show up and I'm having a bad day, I can't really share it on social media because it's like, I don't want to have that memory, but then also I don't want to project that on other people because I don't know who's going to see it, when they're going to see it. And like it's part of being a real person is showing up even on your bad days and like being able to be vulnerable enough to say that you're having a bad day. But then by the same token, it's like you're putting that out there to other people. So it's like I don't necessarily even want to do that with my own husband because I want to be the person lifting them up. I want to be the person like building people and giving them hope and optimism and
Right.
and I am very energetic and positive, so I feel like that I want to be that person showing up like that, so it is
Right.
hard for me to be vulnerable and to be like negative even when I have plenty of bad days, but
Sure. But
like
you don't want them
I
to feel
don't.
like they have to take care of you kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly, 100%. I don't want people to think they have to take care of me or that I don't want people to think like show up. You don't know when someone's popping on your grid, right? Like I don't want them to be having a bad day, pop on my grid, see I'm having a bad day and then have a worse day. Like if they pop on my grid, I want them to see me being like it's hope and love and we can do it kind of thing. So I think it's hard that it's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves, and especially being authentic is showing up authentically because you don't always show up authentically. And that's why I like reality TV because you see that story evolve rather than on social media. It's just a little square that you see a little snippet of someone's life. So I can show you that I am perfect and happy all the time. And you think, is she always happy and perfect? Like, no, but when I'm on reality TV, I can cry. And in the same 30-minute episode, I can win a competition and be jumping up and down. And like,
Yeah, that
it
is such
seems
a good point.
right.
Yeah,
But
because it's
it's
all
like,
curated.
it's all it's so curated on social media. And reality TV is still more raw because you're seeing these people go through these like emotional roller coasters. And and all these different like emotions, and it evolves naturally over whatever is happening in their environment. And I think it's nice. That's what I like about unscripted. It's nicer than showing up on social media and having to feel the pressure of, just showing up in a certain way. And now everyone puts pressure on like you have to have a brand and this and that. And it's hard. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot.
It's funny you say about crying because I'm very conflicted when I see when I see people crying on a reality show, it is in the moment of the thing, and they are not.
Yes.
But I think I don't know how I feel. I don't know where I land with someone crying and then picking up their phone and filming that and posting it. Like I'm like,
They do that
oh,
though.
They
I know
do
it's become
Yeah.
that.
like a big thing now.
Yes. Yeah,
And
or ranting on a rant on a TikTok or something. That's the other thing. It's like I don't want to show up and like rant and complain like, "Oh, I just had this, that, and the other thing happen." Like, yeah, of course things happen,
Yeah.
but like people like you said, they film it and they're talking about it and they post it. And whereas on reality TV, if I'm complaining, it's about a situation that just happened. And by the way, you watched that situation likely, right? Like it's part of telling that whole story. So
Right.
if you feel like one way toward me, you might feel like, oh, she's being so dramatic, or you might feel like, oh, I totally understand what she's going through. And that's part of why we love the characters on reality TV, and we love that part of like that raw emotion that we get to see. But it feels, and maybe I think in my head, it feels more fake when they show up and they're ranting on their phone or crying on their phone. So
Yeah.
it's hard.
It's hard. It makes so much sense of what you're saying because it's a resolution. Like you said, you're going
Yes.
through an entire story, and like on the show, you're choosing to share that moment. You're relating to
Yes.
that person. Whereas like social media, you can just like open and be like, it's like very like can be aggressive, where like you didn't kind of
Yeah.
ask for it, kind of thing. But
Like, literally, you didn't ask for it. That's the thing. Like, you can go on a TikTok and you're just like scrolling through TikTok, checking out the latest clothing items. The next thing
right,
you know, someone's like screaming at their phone. You're like, whoa, what?
yeah, you're
What
like,
just
whoa,
happened?
aggressive.
1 second there's a dog like, running into a wall. And now that you're like, whoa, hitting another wall, like going
it is
crazy.
very can be very jarring, those TikTok
Yes.
trolls. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I kind of uh, I like social media. Like I think that was the original question, right?
Yeah,
So I
I
do,
just because I
yeah,
have
I
trouble
do
with
like
it. Like
it.
I just, it's a whole thing for me. I don't like love it, but I get that you have to sort of like it's there. Like if it didn't exist at
Yeah,
all, like great, but it does. So you have to sort of like participate, right? And
right.
yeah, so
Did you
And
like
and
having your wedding filmed?
I did. I loved it. I loved everything.
Oh.
I love attention. I don't know if you know that. But you know what I loved about the wedding was that I didn't have to really think too much into it. Like weddings are crazy
girl.
and they can go this, that, and the other way. And like I always thought I was a control freak, but I think I'm not at all because I'm just so, oh, that I didn't know that would pop up.
Oh
But hey, cool. I
yeah.
forgot the I
Hey,
forgot it does these
Oh,
things, right?
cute.
Um so I guess like I am able to let production kind of take over if that makes sense. So I'm it's easy for me to let production take over with the wedding. It was like great to like just let someone else deal with it. I would just show up. I mean, there was a lot of times when I literally was like, what's happening next? And what am I wearing? You don't know, you have no control over anything. But for me, I think it was like I was okay with that because
You
I
had already
was,
built up that trust with
yes,
production, so you already knew the process.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew the process and I was like very much, I knew that it was going to happen. And then also with the wedding, I always kind of had the idea that was like, well, at the end of the day, it's going to happen. I'm going to get married.
Right.
It's like whatever happens, if it's a disaster, it's a disaster, but I'm still married. So it doesn't like it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
oh, it was really about the love. I feel like
It was
some
about the
weddings is
love.
really about the party.
I know.
Can be
Hey, I
about
worked
both.
on Bridezilla too. Like,
You
oh
cast for
God.
Bridezilla.
I did. Like for I think I did like 2 or 3 seasons of it actually. Yeah. But I'll tell you, those girls, every single time they justified themselves, I was like, you're right, actually. You are right.
That's sweet.
What is your favorite show you've cast for?
Ooh, well, I think Golden Bachelor, just because I'm like I just love the stories. It's so cute and special, and I just love I love the love of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the you hear these guys telling about the stories of when they're in their 20s, and they give you advice, which is like so great because I've been married for 15 years, which is amazing, but some of them were married 40 years. So it's like they tell you all these special stories, and it's just a totally different talking to older people all day and hearing
right.
how sweet they are and what they have to say. And
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I love all the shows we do, but
I
that's
get
probably
that.
my
Yeah, that makes so much sense. I mean,
yeah.
it's also like different, like that's the
It
thing
is
too. Like
different. Yeah.
that's not something that we do. I mean, I think I cast one show that was like about like older people. It was like a prank show or something a million years ago.
Oh,
And
cute.
it was really cute. But yeah, like we don't that's not something that we do all the time. So it's really nice, it's
Yeah.
refreshing to be able to interview people
Yes.
that have so much life experience to share. It's really
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
100%. And they're genuinely looking for love. Like I read the things and they're like, my parents got married when they were young and they were married for 50 years until my dad had Parkinson's and died. And you're just like, oh, I'm like, it's the cutest stories. I literally cry sometimes with them.
I was just gonna ask you, have you
Yeah,
cried in any of those
I
interviews? I
do.
feel like
Yeah, I
some
do
of them
sometimes.
would be
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, some of them are like really special, and so I do like cry with them. I mean, I don't like let them see me cry if they're not
Right.
crying or something, but like if they're crying, I'm like, thank you so much for sharing that story.
100. If I am crying, I honestly try to get away back from the camera and like
Yes,
try to keep my eye because I
You're
don't
like,
want them to see that like there's
right?
and then I'll be like, what do I will try to do it so subtly or I'll like go off for a second because yeah, I'm like embarrassed. But like some yeah.
well, it's hard
I
too because you
know.
don't want to make it about you, right? But also,
Right.
but I will say we also are just the nature of people. I think in casting, you're very like you want to hold people's hand through a process. You're very like
Yes.
your emotions are right there at the surface, especially you, Rachel. Like it's part of your shine on TV is that you are vulnerable. Your emotions are right there.
Yeah.
So it also and when you're talking to people, you're emoting then as well. So it's tough.
You're kind of like a
Yes.
voice coach for reality TV because it's like they're the
Yeah.
singers and then they're helping the singers through the process, and you're a reality contestant helping reality
Right.
contestants through the process.
Coaching them through. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good example. I know Bethany, you're doing the coaching too with the reality TV people,
Yeah,
right?
it's not so much, and I need to figure out like more better messaging because I feel like a lot of people think it's about reality. It's more just like life coaching and like helping
Oh,
people
okay.
sort of like shine in the spotlight and putting yourself out there just in terms of like everything. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are reaching out about like, "Oh, I want to be on a show." And I'm like, "That's great, but like as we both can
Yeah.
all can attest to, like you cannot tell somebody how to be on a show, right? It's like that
No, you
it's
can't.
you can't really
I
teach
know.
that or coach that. You can help them feel confident enough to put themselves out there, but
Yes.
yeah, it's a very, very different thing. So, yeah.
Well, and I was talking to someone the other day that was like, you should just sell your coaching classes, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I can't because I can't put someone on a show. Like I
Right.
can never get them on that show. Like I can
Exactly.
help you to tell me what you're good at or tell me the way that we can like figure this out. But like I don't make the decisions, and if I'm not even working on that show, it's like a team of people and all the things. And I'm like, I feel like the people that are like, I will get you cast on a show,
That's
blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that's not true.
it's not
And
true. It's not good. I totally agree with
no,
that.
And
Nope.
there's
Nope.
so many things that go into it. Like
so
it's like
many.
whatever. Like
Yes.
it could be, oh, we actually have another blonde girl. Oh, we have like
Yeah.
too many
Yep.
tall people. Whatever it is, like you could be kind of great, and like for whatever other reason, you don't get on.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is an unpopular opinion probably, but like, and I don't mean this in like a negative way, but like it's not for everyone, right? It's
Yeah.
just not.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like
It's true.
kill anybody's dream because there are certain things like maybe different shows that maybe might work out, but it's just there are certain things that it takes, as you know well, Rachel, to like
Hmm.
you have to be all these things and not everyone is just like built for that. It's just not,
A hundred
everybody has
percent.
like worth and value and I think star power. I think like they have their own kind of way in the world, but it's not necessarily everyone's path to do like a reality show.
Of course, and
A
it's not
hundred
that's not
percent.
a bad thing. I think we
Yeah.
all probably have some of the closest people in our lives who we love near and dear who would probably never be on a reality show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And then also like they're the people that you're like 100% think would be on the show. And then for whatever reason, they don't make it on the show. And you're just like, I don't understand. Like
Yeah,
what's going on?
that's so true.
So it's
Yeah,
like you never know.
you never know.
It's
Or
it
somebody
could
that you
be
think even like would have been amazing that you get on a show and think they would be amazing
yes.
on the show, and then for some reason it just doesn't really like vibe, and they didn't, do great. They didn't love it. It didn't work out for them very well. And then you have surprises that you're kind of like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh
this
yeah.
person was whatever, and then they're like, the shining star. It's like,
I love the
Yes.
surprises. The surprises
yeah,
are
I
the
do too.
best.
The
Uh,
surprises are the best, especially when you see them on the show and they're like a big surprise and you're like, oh my God, they're
and you're kind
actually
of
really, really
looking like
amazing. Yes.
Right. And they just like turn on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Oh
actually
my
have
God.
a question for Rachel
Yeah.
because I feel like you are so, and we've been talking about putting yourself out there, and you are just like, this is me, here I am. Literally, you're the definition of that Greatest Showman show. Like, this is me.
Oh,
But
yes.
have you regretted ever putting something out there?
No, I don't think so. And I really like don't believe in that. And I think that's part of the mentality of it because I'm just like, if I put it out there, I'm not going to regret it. Like, I would rather do it than regret something. And I don't want to have any regrets, if that makes sense. So, I don't really regret something if I made a mistake, I learn from it, and I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't do that again, or oh, I can't believe I said that or did that or whatever. But I never really regret it, like to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I can't, I regret it. The only thing I regret ever is really just not shaving my head on The Amazing Race, I'll be honest. Like, but even then, I was gonna get married, so I don't know. I say I regret it, then I'm like, I don't think I do, because it's at the end of the day, I made that decision, and it was like, it was a great decision to make on TV and to get to think about, and like, it made a great talking point.
Right. Do you ever think that like people, because you mentioned earlier that like, you're kind of like known as the villain and
Yeah,
which of course like, whatever that means because you're certainly not in real life. But like do you think that has it been hard to get to kind of like deal with that or people's reaction to that or like how do you kind of move through people
it
think
was really hard the first year. I like had a lot to like the first Big Brother was really hard for me because I didn't see myself the way people were seeing me, and I didn't understand how people could see this way and how people could have a different opinion than what I thought was actually happening. But then I had to realize like when you're watching a story like this unfold, it's like you're going to see it through your lens and someone else sees it through a totally different lens. So even the people that we think are villains or we call villains are not. Like they're just having a different story. And also like there's no without a villain, there's no heroes, right? So like I think I had to like really understand that and realize it, and it was hard. It was like a hard like jumping into a cold plunge. Like at first you hate it, you can't do it. It's like the worst thing you've ever tried, and then you're kind of like, okay, I like this. Like I have to get used to it. It's healthy. It's a good thing for me to like work through.
What was the first year you were on Big Brother? What year was that?
2010.
Because there wasn't really social media back then,
No,
right?
there's
So
no
where were
social
you
media, but it was
hearing that?
Twitter.
Oh, Twitter.
Twitter.
Okay.
Oh my God, Twitter. And it was like Twitter had just started. So I think that was the other thing. I was around on reality TV right when social media started, and it was like the people were crazy. I mean, I'm talking
They're
like
still crazy.
nasty, nasty. They're still crazy, but like back then, there was no regulation. There was nobody talking about how it could be bad for your mental health or how anyone that you talk about on TV is just on TV. It was just like such a different world back then because it was so new. So people were just like really mean. But I mean, like, again, I feel like that was my boot camp getting into this because I wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. Like, I wouldn't have been able to outlast that. If I kind of don't know how people, like, some people go, like actors and stuff, they go on and they're like, they're in a little part and they're in a little part and then they're in a big movie and they keep going. But like, it's easier for me because I had it where it was just like bam, like a cold plunge, like it's just here and there and you have to go through it, whereas some people it like builds up. I think it might be harder, you know.
Right. But you also didn't have the like balance of, because if it was just Twitter, it's just people like coming like at you.
Yes,
You didn't have like
coming out
your
all the
own
time.
sort of social media. Be like, well, this is
No.
actually who I am, and here's my family and
Yes,
my story. And but
exactly.
yeah, that's tough.
And you had 140 characters to explain to explain a thing and you're like what? Oh
But
my
yeah,
God,
like you
it was
said, but
so
I
weird.
I would imagine then it makes you really have to be like, I just can't worry then what people think about me.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally. Well, and you know, the same people that were like giving me death threats were the same people the next season that were like, "Oh my God, I live for you, Rachel. You are my favorite person I have seen on reality TV, and you were my favorite last year." And I'm like, "Weren't you last year saying something way different?" Like,
Oh, you
yeah.
remember those handles.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, especially back then I did. Now I probably don't like.
Yeah, there are too many. Yeah, now.
There's so many. I know. And then sometimes I'm like, is this a bot? Is this even real? But like back then also, like I didn't know if it was real. Like I didn't even think there were bots because like it was all so new and they could have been bots. But now it's like they're definitely bots accounts. Like people just like do bot accounts or whatever. But
And well, I just had to tell a friend this who, like, at their job, which is kind of in casting, people are trying to cancel them or whatever. And
yeah.
I told them, I was like, well, you know that, like, I think I found out, and I'm not gonna get the number exact, but it was like, that it's like 5% of the viewing audience tweets about Big Brother. Then that means like
Yes.
95% of the people are watching have not even said one tweet about
Literally.
that.
Yes. Yes. 100%. 100%. And I know it feels, and tell your friend this, it feels like it's the whole world and it feels like it's everyone. But like at the end of the day, they just have to take it with a grain of salt and just breathe through it
It's
because
a
it's just, it's social media. That's
it's a
the other thing.
tiny group of very loud
Yeah.
people.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Very
And the
angry
truth
loud
is
people.
like, and the truth is they're not even mad about whatever they say they're mad about. They're just like, that's something for them to focus on so that they can like get a little bit of that out, you know?
Yeah, you're like, this is about you. Not this is not
Literally,
about me. This is a
exactly,
you problem, not a
100%.
me problem.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
love it. Bethany, do you have any
I mean, I don't. I
final
feel like this
things?
has been
Okay.
so amazing.
Thank you, Rachel. It was so good seeing
Yay.
you, having you
Thank
on.
We so appreciate
you.
you and your time, and we just like love, love, love having you here. So thank
Thank
you.
you so much. This was so fun. I had so much fun.
She's so great.
I mean, she's the queen. She's amazing. She's so good. Like it may, it's no question, no wonder why she's been on every show and probably should be on every show moving forward. Like she's also like her own like person in terms of like there's no one else like Rachel. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
some people, I mean, not to knock anyone, but I feel like some people are kind of could be like interchangeable and like, this person maybe like if you have a cast, it's like, oh, maybe I'll move this person here, but like she's like a standalone,
She
like her
is like
own.
a
Yeah.
flavor that
Yeah.
is rare.
Yeah.
Um, I
And she's
feel
like
like you could.
so good and like she comes off, I know, as the villain, and we talked about how it's not really a thing, but like it's so funny because she couldn't be sweeter or more like willing to do whatever. Like, how can I help you? Or what can I like? She's
I
awesome.
feel like you could literally say to her any word in the world, cabinet, leaf, ceiling, and she could talk about it for 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah,
And that is what makes someone kind of great for reality TV. Like you have to have opinions about things. You have to be able to talk about kind of anything in the world.
yeah.
Like she was even like, "Oh, I feel like there's about to be a silence here. I'm gonna keep talking."
Right. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like a confidence. I don't know if that's the right word. A confidence or just like a like an ability just to be like yourself. I hate the word authentic. We use it so overused, but like she'll yeah, like you said, she'll just talk about it because she's just like, why not? Let me fill up this space. Let me take my ownership in this space, which I admire that so much.
The reason I asked her about like, do you regret? And it wasn't necessarily really like, sorry, it wasn't necessarily really, do you regret doing this thing or doing that thing? It was more about just like, did you ever say something about maybe your family? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Sometimes I just like post something and the caption or like in my Instagram story and I'm kind of like, oh, I feel so exposed. Like maybe I shouldn't have said that. I think it's very cool that she's like, I want to put it all out there and that's just what it is.
Yeah, like no regrets, no regrets. Maybe it helps that she started it when she was so young, she like definitely came into
Uh,
it. But yeah, I think that's just her personality of like this is me and I don't apologize for it.
when I post something, I'm like, okay, could it be seen like this? Could it be seen like
Oh,
that?
are
Is
you
that person's gonna be? I was thinking this person's gonna be mad at it. Like, and I think about every which possible way it could be looked at badly.
I mean, you are preaching to the choir. That is literally that's why the whole people pleasing thing and like that's why I'm so over that right now because it's like, yeah, of course I feel like that and have felt like that. And
Yeah,
that's why it's so important to listen to people like Rachel Josh talk about that. You can't worry about other people. You just literally like cannot because you're going to because you can't please everyone and you're just going to spend your time spinning your wheels and not doing the thing that you want to do.
yeah. It is refreshing to hear people so confidently say that because I'm like, yes, that is
Yeah,
true. I need to remember that.
right. Exactly. Yeah. No, I still struggle with it, but
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
it's a journey.
It is a journey. Um, Alrighty. Well,
Thank you, Danny, for your co-hostmanship today.
thank you. I don't know. Should we just say bye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna say bye.
All right.
See you
All
next
right. I will,
time.
yeah, see you later.